This video will show you how to install correctly our Hortau station in strawberries. On this installation, the station is equipped with temperature sensor for frost protection, a pressure sensor to record irrigations, and two tensiometers at 6 and 12 inches to manage irrigation. To start, connect the solar panel to the first port under the device in the left front. Next to it, you will see a small P for power. When connected, the screen will light up. However, if you didn't use the battery for a long period of time, you may need to wait 1 or 2 sunny days before the battery gets fully charged and the device can report online during days and nights. Choose a representative spot of your field to install your station. Avoid wetter zones like the lowest area or drier spots like lighter soil. In this way, you will be able to manage your irrigation on this field with this average spot. Install the device in the middle of the row by taking care to not damage the drip tape. Push on the bracket and not on the device to bring it close to the crop to make sure that the device is not in the way when you pass with machinery. Make sure to install the solar panel facing south to get better efficiency. Remove the brass screw next to the cable for the 6 inches tensiometer. For the 12 inches tensiometer, remove the aluminum plug at the top of the filling tube. Use potable water to fill the tensiometers and make sure to evacuate all air from the water column. The capillary tube in the 12 inches tensiometer allow filling the tensiometer from the bottom to the top to avoid any trapped air. Ideally, use a squeeze bottle with a narrow mouth to fill the 12 inches tensiometer with the capillary tube, otherwise remove the capillary tube to fill up the tensiometer. Gently shake both tensiometers to evacuate all air trapped. Next, reinstall plug on them and make sure to tighten it correctly. Make sure also that the filling tube on the 12 inches tensiometer is correctly tightened. Run wires under plastic mulch film to make sure that they aren't in the way when you pass with machinery or during harvest. Make two holes for the tensiometers with a garden shovel and keep the sole for later. Typically, tensiometers in strawberries are installed at 6 and 12 inches. To confirm depths, a soil profile can be done when crops are at maturity to identify the root zone. The tensiometer at 6 inches reads water availability where the plant uptake more water, and this one should threshold irrigation. It's also between 2 meters to make sure that all water bulbs reach each other. The tensiometer at 12 inches is at the bottom of the root zone and at 2 inches away from a emitter to avoid any preferential flow around the tensiometer. It tells if the irrigation was too long or too short to irrigate all the root zone. This tensiometer should not go under the field capacity or under the comfort zone. If the tensiometer reaches 0 kPa, that means the soil is saturated with water. Make sure that the tensiometer is fully underground. If not, the sun can eat the probe and create a pressure that will influence the reading. So keep 1 or 2 inches of salt over all metallic parts of the probes. To do so, install the tensiometer at 6 inches in an angle with a minimum of 15 degrees. Put back salt around the tensiometer and make sure to not leave any empty space and make sure that the ceramic tip has a good contact with salt. The plastic mulch film should be patched with tape. Connect the tensiometer 6 and 12 inches in port 2 and 3 respectively. To protect your crop from frost, use an unshielded temperature sensor like the one installed on this station. It reacts quickly to temperature variation, however it cannot be used during day since it will be affected by the sun. It can be also used to monitor soil temperature. Install it stand away from the station. You may use a hammer to insert the stand if you remove the sensor before. Insert the stand until the probe is at the top of the canopy. Since the temperature will be higher in the canopy, you may need to change the sensor height during the season. Connect the probe to port 1. To monitor the air temperature at day and night, you may add a shielded temperature sensor. This one won't be affected by the sun, however, it will react slower to rapid temperature variation. It is why we don't use it for frost protection. This type of sensor monitors air temperature, relative humidity, vapor pressure deficit, dew point, and degree days. To install it, simply push the stand in the soil until the sensor gets as the closer it can be to the crop. Connect the sensor in port 5. To install the water pressure sensor, find the emitter to make sure to not cut one of them. Cut the drip tape to install your T with the sensor. Connect in port 4. Finally, secure all wires on the station stand with zip ties to avoid any issues during harvest or when you pass with machinery. Here are the ports that we recommend using. That may be switch, since the device will recognize the sensor. However, if you want to be able to see all your historic, you need to always use the same port years after years for each sensor. If a sensor on a port has been disabled on the Hortau website, you may need to enable the sensor to see it online again. For all other questions, please reach our Canadian service team at 418-836-7927. Have a wonderful season.